Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy. Champ Kine Sports. Rick Tamlin Weather. And your reporter in the field, Brian Fantana. It's Channel 4 News at 6 o'clock.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. Hi, I'm Ryan Davis, and this is my co-host, Taylor Massler. And our topic for today, the absence policy of Pinellas County Schools. This new absence policy gives students at least a minimum of 5 absences. And on that 5th absence, a student is required to take all of their exams.
This graph shows last year's attendance using last year's attendance policy. This graph shows this year's attendance using the new and improved attendance policy.
Ryan? Thanks, Taylor. And this graph shows how many students actually want to take all of their exams. And here's a couple of teachers from Eastlake High School with their opinion on the new and improved attendance policy.
And
let's take a look.
For 4 days absent, at the 5th day you have to take the exam. It's making students come to school. I'm seeing much better attendance in my classes this year, much better. And I will have plenty of company on exam day.
I think the new attendance policy is positive because at least you gave it some type of rules where last year there wasn't any policy whatsoever where you just kind of could miss as many days as possible.
See, with those rules, we'll even get those kids that want to bring in those doctor's notes when they have to take chemo for cancer.
And we'll even get the kids with flesh-eating disease, like this next kid from Tarpon.
And here's the principal and administrators of Eastlake High School, their viewpoints on the attendance.
And the attendance policy. One of the things that I see that has made the biggest difference in learning for our students this year is the fact that the attendance policy is so strict that students who would normally say that they were making an A and they really didn't have to go to the class are showing up because of the fact that they would have to take a final exam.
And now that we're inducing fear into the lives of Pinellas County students, we see a major increase in attendance in their schools. Let's check back at this.
And so by still showing up every day, when last year they didn't, they're finding out that even though it's not reflected, they still get their A. They're coming out with more knowledge and more skills than they did in previous years. So I think that's the biggest benefit to the attendance policy.
I would agree, and I do think that students are taking attendance more seriously.
That's right, students are taking their attendance more serious. Look at these kids from Osceola High. They take their attendance so serious that they commit to learning and being in school even though when they're sick and should be at home in bed.
And here's Mr. Post with his final thoughts of the attendance
So
policy.
it still goes back to that same premise that somebody has to believe that education is important. And I think the attendance policy sends a signal that education is important, but it's important that you're in front of the person that has the knowledge to give you. And we can't force you to come.
You know what, Taylor? We could actually force those students to come to school.
Yeah, that's right. We could get an SRO officer to wake up every single individual student in the morning and escort them to school.
You know what? That'll really show those kids that they need to come to school. And signing off, I'm Ryan Davis.
And I'm Taylor Massler. Tune in next week to find out if Barack Obama is joining the NBA